going to fold it over so it looks kind of like a taco, and we're going to press down and squish the edges of the clay around the newspaper so that we end up with something like this. I know that this looks like something kind of food. I just don't remember what that kind of food is. So there we are. We have our newspaper inside, and our clay is squished down around it. Then we're just going to come out about as far as your thumb, about that thick, and start tearing around the clay. It's almost like a pie crust at this point, I guess. We're just tearing around. That's our extra clay. It's okay, see I have a little hole there? Don't worry about that. That's going to be okay. But we've taken most of the clay off, and with this clay we're just going to squish it down a little bit more. There we go. And I like to just fold it over. And that's going to seal it up really good. Maybe at this point, I don't know if you can see a fishy in this yet, if you look at it, but I can. So I'm going to say that this is the head of my fish and this is the tail of my fish. So it's just a little bit narrower than this part, but it doesn't really matter. Each fish is different. Then you're going to take your rib or your spatula, and you're just going to come along and just squish all that clay down. We're kind of rounding this out, and we're smoothing it so that we don't want our fish to have a big seam on the bottom of it. So we're just using the rib or the spatula to just kind of squish that clay together and smooth it out so we get rid of our seam. Just like that. It's not very pretty yet, but don't worry about that. So there you go. Now we can gently take that and roll it. Just roll it kind of like that. I like some of these little cracks and folds and stuff in the clay. I think that gives each fish its own personality. You might like something a little bit more perfect, and in that case you can either take your rib or your finger and you can smooth it out a little bit more. And you can get rid of some of those things. Maybe I might like to get rid of them right here, right around the head. We don't want too wrinkly a head. And so I'm just smoothing it out, and you can push it if you just kind of press against the clay. That'll smooth it out too. You can roll it. You can use your fingers, whatever you like to do. When you have your fishy about like you like it, and I kind of like this. I think that's a nice shape right there. Okay, so the first thing we want to do now is we want to make our fish's mouth. And to do that, we take our spatula. If you have an actual potter's tool, you can use that too, but this is pretty good. And we just start in the middle, and we're just drawing a line that makes our fishes smile. Right there. We're going to do that on both sides so that our fish has a smile on both sides. Okay, it's kind of hard to see right now. You can kind of see it. So we need those fish lips to be nice and big. And to do that, we take a little bit of our clay that's sitting over here, and let's just roll out a coil. Anytime you roll clay out so it's long and thin, we call that a coil. And these are going to be your fish's lips, so you can make them just about however you want to. I like them pretty big. I like everyone to see my fish smile. Right there. Then we're going to take a little bit of our slip, and we're just going to paint it along the top of our line. This will be his top lip. Sometimes I put a bottom lip on and sometimes I don't. And I'm just going to take this coil and lay it along my line right like that, all the way around to the other side. Looks like kind of a funky looking lip, but then we're just going to squish it down a little bit, just a little bit with our hands. And then we're going to take our spatula or our wooden tool, whatever you have, and we're just going to, on the upper side of the lip, we're just going to join it to the clay, join it to his head, just by doing this and sort of squishing them both together. All the way around. There we go. So now the two are smooth together, and that's looking pretty much like a fish lip right there. And then if we want to do a bottom lip, we pretty much do the same thing. Oops. Take a little bit of, I don't usually take the bottom lip all the way the same as I do the top lip. So I just put a little bit of slip there and take my coil. I like to start in the middle, it just makes it even on both sides. And we just lay it in there just like that. And that's our bottom lip. He's got a nice smile now. And I take my rib or my spatula or my tool and I do the same thing on the bottom. And just come all the way around and join the two together. Squish them together a little bit. Kind of get rid of that line. Come back and smooth it. There. Our fish has lips now.